Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Championship Sunday, the pregame cheat sheet version of Championship Sunday. I'm Darren Smith along with Steve Walls. We are live from Baltimore, Maryland at M&T Bank Stadium. Steve, first of all, happy Championship Sunday to you.
Happy Championship Sunday to you, too.
We've been getting used to this. This is the last 6 years we've been doing this.
6 years straight.
Yeah, and it never gets old.
It doesn't.
But first and foremost, I want to welcome you, obviously, along with everyone else that's joining us on our social media platforms here to Baltimore, Maryland. Steve, your initial thoughts. Kansas City Chiefs on the road for the first time, well, second time now, but first time for the championship series, taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Chiefs are 12-6. Baltimore is 13-4.
Yep.
Your initial thoughts on this matchup today?
You know what? I looked at the line before I got here, yesterday, and it was 3. The Chiefs were under 3-point underdogs.
Right.
Now they're 5-point underdogs. So I think they see that. And they're coming in this game, and I said this earlier in the week, that the Chiefs are taking on the villain role.
Yeah.
They're no longer the darling of the NFL. They're more of the villain, similar to, we saw it with Tom Brady, and I feel like they've embraced that, and that's what they're bringing coming into today.
Chiefs are 13-6, Ravens are 14-4. Kickoff is at 3 o'clock local time, 2 o'clock back in Kansas City on CBS. Look, if you can kind of see in the background, players taking the field, fans are starting to come in, and before we even dive into today's matchup, see, there was a little pregame activity that was going on.
Yeah.
You were telling me we were set up. Let our audience know what was going on.
Well, Patrick Mahomes is going through his normal pregame routine as he's throwing the ball on the field closer to the end zone, and Ravens kicker Justin Tucker decides I didn't see before the video where Justin Tucker's helmet was already placed. I don't know if it was already placed there or if he came and put it there, while Mahomes was warming up. Nonetheless, it was there. And along with a couple of footballs, Justin Tucker was about 5 feet away doing a stretch. You saw Mahomes throw a pass, and you also saw Travis Kelce come into the screen and pick up the 2 footballs, toss them, and picked up the helmet, tossed it, and Justin Tucker could just sit there and look like, I don't want those problems. And it was in full stride. So Mahomes just kept throwing, and Travis Kelce just kept going. So no smile, no nothing. It's just he stood on business.
Now, look, of course, it's not really a rivalry, so to speak, between these two teams because they don't play as often as, let's say, Buffalo or Cincinnati against Kansas City. But the last time these two teams played, Baltimore did come out on the victorious side of the Chiefs. They played week 2, you and I were here for Sunday Night Football. They came back from behind and beat the Chiefs 36-35. So that is the only win Lamar Jackson's career over Patrick Mahomes in the NFL. The other 3 times the Chiefs were successful, all at Arrowhead. Steve, but when you look at this matchup today, Chiefs are, as you said, a 5-point underdog. They come into this game on the road where, had they taken care of business at home, they probably would have been hosting this game. But Lamar Jackson is going to be the league MVP. When you look at this initial matchup, let's look at Kansas City's offense against Baltimore's defense. How does Kansas City offset that?
They have to score early and score fast. It's similar to last week. It seemed like the last couple of weeks, the offense has been clicking. You think about just how they've had the ups and downs in this season. Then you look at last game, and MBS stepped up.
Yeah.
You saw Noah Gray catch a pass. Other than McCole Hardman, everybody has been in full stride. And I think they're still going to go to McCole Hardman today.
Oh, yeah.
You have to. That's just their MO.
I just see him fielding some punts as well.
Yeah, so, it's their MO. But it's more or less of, can they not turn the ball over? Can they not beat themselves? We looked at the offensive line. We saw Andy Reid move with the 2 tight ends, go with a lot of 2 tight end sets. I think that helps with some blocking issues, and it takes a lot of pressure off those ends as well. So if they're able to do that, and now the Baltimore Ravens on the defensive side, they have to prepare for MVS. They have to prepare for everyone else, and it makes it hard on trying to guard Travis Kelce.
When you look at this, some late notes, Isaiah Pacheco will start. Willie Gay has been a late stretch. He's not playing in today's game, which could cause some issues on the defensive side of football when you're looking for somebody to spy on Lamar Jackson. Now, Drew Tranquil did a decent job last week when Willie went down, so of course it's going to be a huge assignment for him in today's matchup.
Yeah, I think it will be. But you look, they've been without a couple of guys. They were without Nick Bolton early on in the season. So they've been without before. And that was the big thing I thought about coming into these playoffs is, you've had your slump. Now it's like we riding high, and the Ravens haven't had that slump yet. We've seen them over the past few years, at least with Lamar Jackson, where he's been kind of up and down. this year is like an outlier because he's been balling.
Yeah.
And what are they going to do as far as in-game adjustments when you get punched in the mouth, so to speak, right? That's more of the thing that I'm looking at on the Ravens side is, all right, how are you guys going to make that in-game adjustments? Because you've been riding high all year.
What I'm thinking about when I look at the Chiefs on offense, and look, for me, I have really 3 keys for the Chiefs' success in today's game.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, and this is stuff that we talked about all season long. Wide receivers, tight ends, they got to catch the football when Mahomes throws it. And obviously, on the flip side, Mahomes got to make sure he puts it where they can catch it and not throw it in the dirt. So that's one. Number 2, what they didn't have to worry about last week, but we talked about the crowd issue. The crowd wasn't an issue. This week, talking to Jawan Taylor and some of the other linemen, they can't allow those. They can't have false start penalties. Penalty killing drives that will stall them or force them to punt. And then, honestly, the third one, they can't trade. Both teams have excellent Hall of Fame kickers, but I don't want to see the Chiefs trading 3 for 7. Now, they have no problem kicking. With Justin Tucker being probably the best kicker in NFL history and kicking the ball at any time for a field goal. But for me, if the Chiefs can hold them to 3, to me that's a win.
Yeah.
Especially if they can come back around and get 7 instead of trying to trade 3 for 3, because eventually something's going to break in either direction.
And I want to ask you, do you feel like this is more of a defensive battle today?
Oh, definitely. And look, and obviously, something about it. I'm going to be on Spag. He's also going to be on the defensive side for Baltimore, because the key is how are you going to stop both of these MVPs? Past reigning MVP Lamar's about to get his second one in just a couple of weeks, and so everybody all week, national media, local media, been trying to figure out how you stop one or the other. And of course, at the end of the day, we'll have to see, at kickoff time.
Is there more pressure on Lamar Jackson than it is Patrick Mahomes today?
Well, that's a good question. It is more pressure on Lamar because you're at home.
Mm-hmm.
You're the favorite. You're going to win the MVP, and the team surrounded. They signed to the company now. Season they surrounded you with the requisite weapons that they feel like you need, and you've succeeded thus far this season. Now, there's no shame in losing to Patrick Mahomes, because a lot of players have done that. But with all the naysayers that you've had in your career, wanting you to switch to a wide receiver, running back coming out of college to where you are right now, people are wondering, can the Ravens win the Super Bowl with this type of quarterback?
Yeah,
so for me, it is more pressure on him. But on the flip side, though, if you look at the legacy for Mahomes is only being compared to Tom Brady. Mind you, now, I don't know how he's jumped Troy Aikman and Joe Montana, and Joe's sports.
That's funny.
But again, this is where we live in now. So because of that, I also think it's important for Mahomes, because if you look at the legacy, he's only judged by how many Super Bowl titles, how many Super Bowls he can get to and win. Well, you can make it 4 Super Bowls in 5 years if you win today, but if you don't, that's just another year longer now that you can't get closer to Tom Brady. So you at least want to put yourself in a position to have the opportunity to play for the Super Bowl. So look, and the other thing is, they had a chance to go back to back when they lost to Tom Brady in the Tampa Bay Super Bowl. There was a lot of extenuating circumstances which we're not going to bring up or use as an excuse. But again, they're right back here at the winning Super Bowl to try to get back there to defend the crown and try to repeat. So, there's pressure. I don't want to say there's pressure on both, but one is just the pressure of importance for now. Mm-hmm. The other is more so legacy driven for Mahomes.
And I ask you that because you hear a lot about this quarterback with Lamar Jackson. He started out, it was questions about can he pass the ball? Is he just a running quarterback?
Yeah.
Can he now do both? I think he's been able to show that he's progressed in some areas. However, we see him as their leading rusher. And sometimes I feel like and we talk about it all the time, you can have a quarterback as your leading rusher in any game. Like that's not a recipe for success, at least a long one.
I would say that is true for any quarterback not named Lamar Jackson. Just because of how the offense was designed when he first came in, and when they switched over. Now, granted, they changed OCs from I forgot the guy's name, Greg Roman to Todd Monken. So again, they want to utilize his arm like he was in Louisville and bringing him up, surrounding him with Zay Flowers and Mark Andrews, who were drafted with him along with Odell Beckham. So, look, he has the requisite weapons, and he can't. He won a Heisman as a quarterback. He can throw the football. So people who think that he can't, but then he just run the quarterback, you do that at your own peril. Okay. And look, and the Chiefs, they played against him, and not only that, Steve Spagnuolo has faced him, the 4 times of the home journey, so he knows enough about how to deal with him and how to try to contain him.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. That's why they play the game.
Yeah. So on the defensive side, I want to ask you, Chiefs again. They're going to be without Willie Gay, but this is we don't know whether or not this is going to be the last year for Chris Jones and these other players. So they're going to give trouble. What are you looking at defensively for the Chiefs in today's game against the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson?
First of all, if the people in our headsets and watching, if they can't hear what's being played right now for the Baltimore Ravens while they're warming up, the Chiefs are not on the field. But DJ Khaled's God did is playing right now, and if that don't motivate the Ravens to come out here and have a heck of a game, I don't know, because I'm like, I got my juices flowing, this and that. But to answer your question, I feel like, just coming in today, the Ravens, they to me, they have like an X on their backs, right?
Yeah.
And what I mean by that, it's like, all right, we brought in Odell Beckham Jr. We brought in all these guys, and on the defensive side of the ball, we feel like we were better than the Chiefs offense. Yeah. And they've been the best defense all season. I mean, we saw what they did with the Miami Dolphins. We saw what they did to the 49ers. We both were like, oh, the 49ers, it's going to be a heck of a game. But they came in and did what they needed to do.
Turnovers, yeah.
They did. So I think as long as if you're the Chiefs on offense, as long as you don't try to get outside of what you normally do, and you still, and I know Isaiah Pacheco has, the toe issue, and he was, a late addition or what have you. But I feel like if you don't try to get outside of what you do, it's going to be a huge game for Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Yeah, and look, one other thing too. Again, Chiefs can't have an extra turnover.
Yeah.
And it'll be and also, you need to understand that the clock can also be your friend too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something that we always talk about. Last week against Buffalo, they got lucky. They got like 37 minutes that they had time of possession. The Chiefs only had 23.
Mm-hmm.
And, the kicker, Mr. Field, but there was still time left. Mahomes assured me in the locker room that they were going to score. Okay, I get that. But we don't have to worry about that. We see this right now. I don't know. We'll have to take it in for a second. All right, so. Okay, so but going back to it, man, again, when you see this type of atmosphere, ladies and gentlemen, this is championship Sunday. This is what it's all about. MT Bank saying the pregame cheat sheet. Darren Smith, the longest
middle linebacker, Roquan Smith.
Roquan Smith, yeah. Roquan Smith taking on the Ray Lewis, who of course is here. For actually, a lot of recruiters are here today. But see, I mean, looking at this. Again, as I said, the clock needs to be your friend, especially when you're Mahomes. We know that they can score. They can score at well. We saw how explosive they can be. But one thing that concerns me is that you know that Baltimore has no problem running the football, and they will utilize Justin Edwards and utilize Lamar to keep the clock going and to keep again.
But on top of that, real quick, I really think, and this is just me. I think if you can score fast, let's say you get up 2 touchdowns.
No.
You want to score as fast as you can.
I get it, but the problem is, don't forget, you put your defense back out there because if Baltimore is like Buffalo did last week, if they're in the 8-9 minute drive, that has an effect on the defense and on the leg. But then the offense comes right back out. You put them right back out there where
this defense feel different.
I get it, but to where eventually things, you can bend and essentially break them again. You don't want them to be let's just say the first half. You don't want Baltimore having the ball for 18 minutes and the Chiefs only for 12 or 10 or something like that, to where, it might be a tight game or whatever, or a close game, but but Baltimore still have the energy with the Chiefs. See, on offense, the Chiefs won't have a lot of work there where they could probably go longer, but you gotta find a steady balance, so to speak, because you gotta look out for the defense. Because again, like you said, it's gonna be a defensive battle today that you're looking at. And if that's the case, you want to give your defense as much as advantage possible. Now, if you can get, like you said, a 2 touchdown lead, you allow them to play a little bit differently and maybe take some chances and probably tail off on Lamar. But
if you're up 2 touchdowns, you're if you're the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens, you're not going to be able to run the ball and hold the clock. Like that's not what you're going to be able to do. And I think that's where you want to be able to. That's the advantage of the Chiefs. Is you want to put Lamar Jackson where he has to become a passer.
I was going to say, what works better for you if you're the Chiefs? Lamar as a runner or Lamar as a passer?
Lamar as a passer. I think you want to make him. And I've been saying this all week. If Lamar Jackson can beat you by going out here and throwing 225, 250 yards passing, y'all gonna lose. I mean, y'all deserve to lose.
Yeah. One of the things that we've noticed with Kansas City, especially with the defense, is that they do make halftime adjustments. For me, if Baltimore's to get up, they got to do it in the first half.
Yeah.
Because whatever it is, if you saw last season, they were up 17 to, I forgot what the score, 17-10 over the Chiefs going into half. And Buffalo to score 7 points in the second half the rest of the game.
Yeah.
So for me, if Buffalo does anything, they have to score early and often in the first half because the Chiefs, with the second half definitely backed up defensively, it's hard to see them score more than 3 or 7 points in the second half.
And also, and this is one of the keys that I feel like has helped the Chiefs through this whole, I would say, 6 years. And Mahomes been at the helm. They've got to win the coin toss. We haven't talked about that much this past year. When we dove into it.
Yeah.
I mean, like before,
yeah.
But we were all over it the past few years. But this year, I feel like we haven't really talked about how beneficial that has been in the past years. And I think
lost the coin toss or that they won.
That they've won the coin toss.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when you win the coin toss and you're able to, that's been their MO. If they've been down, it's helped them because you get the ball back right at halftime, and if you're down, you're able to go down and score, use that, and come back and score again.
So let me ask you.
Yeah.
So let me ask you. So if you're the Chiefs, how important is it now? Do you want to win this coin toss, or do you want to? Because we've seen like that. I think Baltimore's usually known to take the ball and go with it.
Are they? Yeah, I mean, that benefits Chiefs.
And that works because for me, I think, and I'm talking about it, I think it's imperative on the opening drive, whether it's the Chiefs or the Ravens, the opening drive for the Chiefs. Defensively, if they can get Baltimore 3 and out, or at worst hold them to, or at best hold them to a field goal, I think that's a win. Especially the Chiefs can come back with their back on offense and come down to score. Because now what you have to do is you kind of quiet the crowd. Now, you don't want to be down 7-0. 3-0 is one thing, 7-0 is a totally different field. And if the Chiefs get the ball first, I think it's imperative that they score a touchdown right away. Because what you want to do is take the crowd out of it right away as possible.
Got to. I agree with that. I mean, you are definitely wanting to make sure that you don't have any crowd interaction.
All right, we're live here from M&T Bank Stadium. Kickoff is at the top here. Steve, I want to ask you X factor on offense for the Chiefs today to win this game.
I think the X factor today has to be Travis Kelce. I think, this team, no matter, we always talk about Patrick Mahomes and everyone else, but I feel like we saw how this team moved last week when Travis was on. And if he's on again today, I don't think there's any stopping this Chief. This team goes as well as Travis Kelce goes.
I like that. I'm going to go with Andy Reid. I think I'm with him. I think we both had Travis, but I'm going to go with Andy Reid on this. The reason why is because this big game Andy.
Yeah.
I mean, and so
he ain't going to be our coach.
Yeah, and so for me, I want to see how you call in this game. And Peter King talked about, I was listening to his podcast, he was talking about how Andy talked, after the game that we were in Buffalo, Andy, gave him a notebook and told him to wrote all the stuff and how he thought the game was going to go. Mm-hmm. And it kind of went that direction. I'm wondering what notes he put together as to how he feels this game is going to go. And so, look, and there's rumors and talk, just like this last time. I don't believe it is.
I don't.
But, you know what I'm saying? But I want to see, again, hostile environments like Buffalo. What do you have up your sleeves? How do you – so –
He got something.
That's what I'm saying. So for me, it comes down to the X's and O's, and for me, that's going to be key. Defensively, who's your X factor?
Man, it's going to be the linebackers. I think it's going to be Drew Tranquil. I think because you got to make sure you firing on all cylinders. You down Willie Gay. We know what Nick Bolton brings to the table. Leo Chenal, he's still a young guy, but I feel like Drew Tranquil was the veteran. You got to make sure that these guys on that interior are definitely ready to go.
Man,
and that's why they brought him in.
I really want to go with Steve Spagnuolo, but I'm going to look at quarterbacks.
Okay.
The reason why, because look, he hasn't really been talked about against locally.
Mhm.
But you and I saw at the draft, we know what Zay Flowers is all about.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, too, you mentioned Odell Beckham. They brought him in for this specific purpose. They paid him a lot of money, which kept DeAndre Hopkins away from him. But they paid him a lot of money. He didn't really do much in the regular season because he was hurt.
Yeah.
But he's healthy now. He didn't really get a lot of action, you would think, even leading up and stuff like that. Okay. That's fine. Careful, we have to do that. But he have a lot. Of easy. But I think this could be a game that, if we aren't careful, they can have big games. So again, we know what the Jays team have definitely been doing. They've been doing it all season.
Sure.
I want to see those matches because, hey, and obviously the key for that, if they're doing well at the X factor, that's going to force Lamar to go to Isaiah Likely and perhaps Mark Andrews. So you want to limit the options that Lamar has to go to football.
I agree. And one person I did not mention is Darius Harris, who was on the Super Bowl team the past few years.
Yeah.
He is now back with the Chiefs. They brought him in off of, he was sitting at home. So I think he knows the defense.
Derek Notty, right?
It plays Derek Notty. But he's a linebacker.
Yeah.
So he's going to be able to get out. I think if he can give you anything, he knows his defense. So I think that'd be an added bonus for this team.
I know what y'all are waiting for. You're waiting for our predictions. Steve, give the people what they want.
Well, first of all, I don't think I said it earlier, but I don't feel like Andy Reid's going to be outcoached. I think when you look at just how his MO, he's one of those guys. He's a Bill Belichick, type dude where he's like, you're not going to outcoach me.
Yeah.
We're going to leave it all on the field. We're going to line up mano a mano. But I feel like this team is ready. Travis Kelce talked about it all week. This has been one of their tougher seasons. People felt like it was going to be that season after Tyreek Hill's departure, but I think it was this year. And they still made it here. So all that's behind them. All they got to do is just go out there and play football, and I feel like the Chiefs are going to be able to do that today. Chiefs by 7.
Execute. To me, that's what it's going to take against the win. Just play football. Do what you're supposed to do.
Yep.
Catch the football, eliminate or lower the penalties that you normally would have. And I think everything else takes care of itself. I'm not saying they're going to contain Lamar or anything like that. I think it's going to be a good game. Could be a high-scoring game, but I think what it all comes down to, we got Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson. I put more trust in Patrick at this point in time in his career because, like as we said before, the pressure's going to be on Baltimore to where, something might, butts get tight and some palms get sweaty, just like it did in Buffalo last week. So hoping for a little repeat action in today's game. So I got the Chiefs 31-24 over the Baltimore Ravens.
Okay.
Before we get out of here, let's thank our sponsors.
I want to first thank Dillard's. Dillard's on the roaster. Make sure you go out there and check them out. They have some wintertime sales going on. They're changing over to the spring inventory. So make sure you go out there and talk to Heather Gray. She'll take care of you.
I really thought he was going to say he wants to thank, first of all, God. Who's the head of our life, which we do.
We do.
But
God did.
You're right. I want to thank Todd White and John Clothier and Taylor Suits for getting me styled and getting me game day ready. Located in 2 locations, one in Ward Parkway, the other 20th and Broadway in downtown Kansas City. I also want to thank Gates Barbecue as well for being our title sponsor the entire season. And we want to say hello to our mom, Miss Terry and Nina, so that way we don't get slapped when we get home. So thank you so very much. And look, follow us on our social media platforms at Darren Smith NFL, at Steve Walls KC. Post game, we'll bring you all the coverage, press conferences, interviews with players. God willing, we'll be getting ready for the Super Bowl. Well, we'll go Super Bowl anyway, but hopefully the Chiefs will be joining us when we get there. So follow us after the game. We'll bring you everything live from Baltimore, Maryland.
Hopefully with the AFC Championship hat on my head.
Exactly. So make sure you join us for our Red Hour tomorrow night, 6:30 to 7:30 on our social media platform. Join myself, Steve Walls, BJQ, and Sean Thomas. So for Steve Walls, I am Darren Smith. Thank you so very much for joining us for the pregame cheat sheet live from M&T Bank Stadium, Baltimore, Maryland. Go Chiefs.
Football fans, you can't spell gate without Gates, and great tailgates start with Gates sauces and seasonings. Named synonymous with mouth-watering tailgates. When you make your list of tailgate essentials, add Gates sauces and seasonings to that list. Spice up your tailgate experience with that unmistakable great taste. Available in 4 tantalizing flavors. Classic, sweet and mild, mild and hot. Find it at your local grocery, and if you don't see it, ask for it. Visit GatesBarbecue.com to purchase any of the great sauces and seasonings. Great tailgates start with Gates.